Right now, the Centers for Disease Control is raising Wisconsin to a higher flu category after a spike in cases. And Iran vows to take revenge on the U.S. after a drone strike killed one of their top generals.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Friday. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield does a look at your first alert forecast. The weekend's already here.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I have no idea what day it is this time around. New Year's is tough calendar-wise, but at least we're getting weather that we would typically associate with the beginning of January. A little bit warmer than maybe it should be for this time of year. We have cloudy skies with some snow off to the west in portions of Minnesota and Iowa. There's an outside chance of maybe a few of those flurries and snow showers finding south central Wisconsin. Closer to the Mississippi River, I do think that we will see some snowflakes tonight. Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. As I mentioned, cloudy skies. Those clouds are going to be hanging tough throughout the day. Already close to our forecast high temperature in Madison, 34 degrees, 36 in Janesville, and 36 in Boscobel. I think those clouds are going to keep temperatures pretty steady today in the mid-30s. Then we'll drop into the 20s to start off our Saturday. We'll talk about some more snowflakes possible early Sunday morning and what to expect into next week in your first alert forecast.
It is January.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Dave, we'll see you in a few minutes. New at noon, the CDC has elevated Wisconsin to a high flu category after a dramatic increase in cases at Children's Hospital. Wisconsin has been in the low flu category. Children's Hospital officials say 829 pediatric flu cases were reported in December. That's an increase of nearly 9,000% from December of 2018 when there were only 9 flu cases. This December, 46 of the 829 cases required hospitalizations. A group of Delta Airlines employees are suing Dodgeville-based Land's End, saying their uniforms made them sick. The suit from more than 500 employees claims the uniforms introduced last year caused breathing problems, fatigue, and rashes. The suit also claims tests conducted by employees found high levels of chemicals and heavy metals in the uniforms, including formaldehyde and mercury. Flight attendants and some ground workers wear the uniforms. Land's End told CBS News the company does not respond to ongoing litigation. Looking ahead, Beloit police will have additional impaired driver enforcements throughout the month of January. According to a release, this is happening this Saturday and next, along with Friday, January 17th, and Saturday, January 25th. The increased patrols will have zero tolerance for drivers under the influence of alcohol, illegal drugs, or prescription medications. They're also checking for seatbelt use. American defense officials say nearly 3,000 more Army troops are headed to the Middle East after a U.S. drone strike killed a top Iranian official that the U.S. has labeled a terrorist. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
These photos show 2 burning vehicles outside the airport in Baghdad, Iraq, the aftermath of an American drone strike which killed General Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's elite Quds force.
President Trump's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American lives. There's no doubt about that. He was actively plotting in the region to take actions, a big action as he described it, that would have put dozens, if not hundreds, of American lives at risk.
The U.S. blamed Soleimani for planning a rocket attack on an Iraqi military base last month that killed an American contractor, and for approving the attack on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad this week. Defense Secretary Mark Esper foreshadowed the strike Thursday morning, telling reporters off camera that the U.S. would take preemptive strikes to prevent any more attacks on Americans.
The game has changed, and we're prepared to do what is necessary to defend our personnel, our interests, and our partners in the region.
President Trump tweeted this morning that Soleimani has killed or wounded thousands of Americans and says he should have been taken out years ago.
The world is a better place without him. The problem is that comes at a very high cost. Number one, there will be dead Americans, dead civilian Americans as a result of this, possibly over the next few days.
Iranians took to the streets Friday to mourn Soleimani's death, and the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei tweeted that a severe revenge awaits the criminals who have stained their hands with his and other martyrs' blood last night. President Trump dismissed the threat, tweeting, "While Iran will never be able to properly admit it, Soleimani was both hated and feared within the country. They are not nearly as saddened as the leaders will let the outside world believe." Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And Iraq's parliament leader condemned the U.S. drone strike that killed Soleimani. The parliament is considering a vote to expel U.S. forces from Iraq. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin released a statement in response to the death of the Iranian general. He writes, quote, Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, has been escalating its malign action for years. It is time for Iran to de-escalate and end its terrorist acts and use of proxies. He says Americans will continue to support the brave men and women who have volunteered to keep us safe. U.S. Representative Mark Pocan also released a statement writing, Donald Trump's unilateral decision to escalate tensions in the region by assassinating the Iranian general without any notification or approval from Congress is wrong. It will destabilize the region and further endanger the lives of innocent Americans, Iranians, and Iraqis. He says the president is on the brink of starting an unnecessary war with Iran. Investigators are waiting for the weather to clear in Kauai so they can send a recovery team to retrieve the wreckage from a tour helicopter that crashed last week. All 7 people on board were killed, including Madison residents Amy Gannon and her 13-year-old daughter, Jocelyn. Now, normally investigators take photos and detailed measurements to determine the cause of crashes, but an NTSB spokesman says the agency believes it's safer to remove the wreckage from the difficult terrain. There are 2 new Madison locations where you can safely dispose of leftover or expired medications. A release from the Dane County Sheriff's Office and Safe Community says you can drop prescriptions off in the lobby of the Public Safety Building and the 6th floor of the City County Building. Medications that are dropped there are incinerated and kept out of our waterways. The Med Drop Box is also a way to keep medications out of the wrong hands. Officials say in recent years, unintentional poisonings killed more Dane County residents than automobile crashes. A Wisconsin man has a second chance after receiving a life-saving kidney transplant. After a difficult battle with chronic kidney disease, Tom Bulow needed to find a donor. His wife Karen launched a digital campaign to raise awareness for kidney donation. It included billboards across Milwaukee to help Tom find a match. There were nearly 40 applicants wanting to donate their spare kidney to Tom.
Call came and it was remarkable, and within like 5 minutes my phone was ringing and it was Tom. We've got a match. We've got a match.
Tom's kidney is from a complete stranger, a man from southeast Wisconsin who saw his story on our partner station CBS 58's newscast. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've got a trendy new breakfast that's taking the world by storm. It's super easy, very different, and it's served in a bowl. If you're like many Americans, this time of year you're looking for ways to eat better, feel better, and lose weight. So with that in mind, I want to introduce you to something that we recently came across that we thought was worth sharing. It's called overnight oats, and it goes together like this. Now, rather than cooking our oatmeal, we simply place our dry oats in a bowl along with some milk, a few add-ins and spices, and let it sit in the fridge overnight. And when it comes to options, there are no limits. Look how easy it is to create carrot cake oatmeal, which is simply some oats mixed with grated carrots, raisins, a few spices, almond milk, maple syrup, and a splash of vanilla. How easy is that? If you love peanut butter and bananas, then you'll love how we team them with our oats. If strawberry shortcake is one of your favorites, then you'll love waking up to a bowl of oatmeal that tastes just like it. To get all of these quick and easy favorites, all you have to do is go to our website and look for the recipe of the day, which includes carrot cake overnight oats, the peanut butter banana oatmeal, and our chilled strawberry shortcake oatmeal bowl. Let me tell you, this is really good. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a healthy and easy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Next to noon, colder out today, and we could see some showers and flurries tonight. Dave has your first alert forecast coming up next. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now. We're ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Well, Tesla tops targets and a beer that you can binge and barely break your resolutions. Mark Lieberman has your Money Watch report.
An end-of-year bonus for Tesla. The electric car maker delivered 112,000 vehicles in the fourth quarter of 2019, beating Wall Street expectations. Tesla ended the year with more than 367,000 deliveries, boosted by the opening of its new Shanghai facility late last year. Lowe's plans to hire more than 54,000 full-time, part-time, and seasonal associates across more than 1,700 stores in the U.S. this spring. It plans to roll out hiring events in all of its locations over the next 3 months, where candidates can interview on the spot. Diet Dr. Pepper has been cleared of accusations of misleading advertising. A federal appeals court ruled in favor of the brand's parent company after a California resident claimed the company misled consumers by the use of the word diet on its labels, implying it would help with weight loss. And Miller 64 is launching what it's calling Dry-ish January, perfect for anyone not fully ready to commit to a completely alcohol-free January. Miller is encouraging consumers to set realistic expectations by drinking lighter beer that has 64 calories and 2.8% alcohol by volume. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Mark Liverman.
He's out today.
All right, Mark, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 166 points. The NASDAQ off almost 34. The S&P 500 down 13. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yaki out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dave has the weekend forecast for us.
Yeah, not too bad this weekend. Temperatures in the 30s, maybe a few snowflakes here and there, especially early on Sunday morning. And speaking of snowflakes, we are tracking some snow showers as they slowly sort of percolate across portions of Minnesota and Iowa. They're moving to the east, and I think that once they get closer to the Mississippi River, they're going to lose some of their steam, some of their luster. So I really don't think we're going to see much in the way of snowfall. Oh, we'll call it east of Platteville and Lone Rock. Now, closer to the Mississippi River, maybe a ½ inch of snow, not out of the question tonight, but I don't think we have too much to worry about here. We're more worried about getting rid of these clouds. They're not really going to budge all that much today in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. It is going to keep our temperatures pretty steady in the mid-30s this afternoon. North wind at 5 miles per hour, wind chill a little bit closer to 30, but our winds are not much of a factor. So here are our snow chances. We're probably dry throughout this forecast, but we'll keep a slight chance of some flurries and snow showers in the forecast for this evening and tonight. After that, I think we'll be dry on Saturday. Skies gradually becoming partly sunny tomorrow, especially by the afternoon. I think we will see some rays of sunshine. And then into Sunday, early on, a few snow showers possible, especially north of Dane County. And then after that, we'll be quiet once again. There are really no big systems on our radar for the first half of January. It's a pretty quiet start to the month and a pretty mild start to the month as well. So temperatures are staying above normal for highs every day out of the next 7 to 10 days. Now, it's basically a technicality. We're pretty close to normal as we get into next week, and that's our cold shot of air. But it could be a lot worse, folks. in January. So where is this winter cold? Well, I want to draw your attention back in time a little bit. Remember, in December of 2018, we were mild, just like we were this December, or I should say last December of 2019. That's kind of weird to think about it in that sense. But the first half of January 2019 was pretty mild. Highs actually got into the 50s. And then, I think we all remember, we had the 2 straight low temperatures of -26 with wind chills close to -50 in Madison. So things can change very quickly. And I was looking at the long-term prognosis for temperatures, and it looks like a similar situation could play out this time around, with temperatures staying mild for the first half of January. But as we get a little bit closer to February, then we should start to see that colder air build into southern Wisconsin. We are noticing the snow building into southwestern Wisconsin close to the Mississippi River, but it really won't be around all that long. Future Track is not very bullish on this snow system, so we're pretty dry for most of southern Wisconsin, starting out in the mid-20s for tomorrow morning, highs in the low 30s. We see those clouds gradually get out of here by the time we get to the afternoon hours. And then a few flurries can't be ruled out early on Sunday before we stay dry for most of the time. So there's a big sort of donut hole across southern Wisconsin as far as snow totals go, maybe a 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch in some spots south and west of Madison, but really nothing to write home about. 7 to 10 day forecast quickly. Temperatures in the 20s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but that cold weather, and I use that term loosely because that's average for this time of year, doesn't last all that long because temperatures are back to 40 by Thursday.
Wow, mild indeed.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take it.
All right, sounds good.
Next at noon, and now that the holidays are over, we're sharing some quick, delicious beef recipes that won't break the bank. Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council joins us next. Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council joining us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
And people vow to eat a little more healthy this time of year. And
Yes.
spend a lot of money on Christmas.
Yes.
Let's get a little economical good meals going.
think I'm going to vow to cook cheaper and less. I feel like all I did was cook in December.
So we're doing ground beef.
Yeah, so ground beef meals. It's kind of, I love talking about ground beef meals this time of year. They're so versatile, they're so quick. It's very reasonably priced. You know, buy a family pack, like a 3-pound pack of ground beef or ground chuck. Take it home and repackage it into 1-pound servings, and then freeze them flat like this. We have a really fun infographic on the website. So then when you pull it out, like if you forget to thaw in the morning, pull it out, unzip it about an inch, put it in the microwave for 1 minute, massage it, and then flip it over and put it in for 1 more minute, and it's skillet ready.
There you go.
So 2 minutes.
All right, we've got a minute to go here.
Okay, well that's fast. Okay, but we can do this. So ground beef hash, or this is called a Wild West beef hash. I love hash because it's 1 skillet and it makes a lot and it's super easy. And I've just got O'Brien potatoes, like from the freezer section. And I actually did saute them up in this skillet before we went on air. It's like 10 minutes to soften them. A big jar of salsa, so you can customize that, whatever your family likes. A vegetable, I'm using just a frozen corn. Fresh cilantro to give it a kind of fun, fancy flavor. And then when this is done, top it with a whole bunch of cheese. So all of these ingredients, on average, or in my supermarket, $13, $14. So you're looking at $3.50 a serving.
And over here we have
a 1-dish stroganoff. So typically stroganoff uses steak, but this has a lean ground beef in it. And then I just browned that with some garlic and some onion, and then added mushrooms, and then some whole wheat egg noodles, a little beef broth, sour cream, and a little bit of Dijon mustard and peas at the end to give it a little more flavor.
looks good.
$16 for the whole skillet. So 4 servings is $4 a person. So super easy weeknight meals that won't break the bank. BeefTips.com. Hundreds of ground beef recipes.
Good to see you, Ann. Jay does
too.
one final check of the forecast.
Temperatures will be in the mid-30s for highs with mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. A few snow showers can't be ruled out tonight, with temperatures falling into the lower to middle 20s.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.